Today, I will be talking about food waste, which I strongly believe is a global plight. This is something that is not just for one nation or one village or one community. It's something that is affecting us globally, both the developed and the developing countries. It is really something that needs to be addressed. I'm sure you'll have heard of the fact that we are currently experiencing food crisis around the world. There is one thing after the other that means that there are people that might not be able to get the food that they need for their day-to-day nourishment, and as a result, they might have a compromised lifestyle or compromised health and immunity due to this crisis. Some of these could be attributed to things like COVID-19. We are just coming out of, maybe we are still in the pandemic, and if you are like where we are, it was so difficult to get food available on the shelves simply because of people hoarding. But also most of the food chains haven't completely recovered from the issues that came about as a result of COVID, and this is contributing to food insecurity. As though COVID-19 was not enough to disrupt the global food chain, we also have issues to do with war and conflicts. And we know, for example, the war in Ukraine, between Russia and Ukraine, is actually affecting a lot of the food that we are able to get on the shelves in the supermarket, and even just people are going really hungry because of that. Last but not least is the climate change. If you've looked at some of the places on like sub-Saharan Africa, you've realized that they have been hard hit by these changes as a result of global warming or as a result of these climate changes. Some of the land is becoming unbearable to carry out basic agricultural practices. As such, it's fair enough to say that we are facing food shortages in some places around the world. And one will wonder, what can we ever do? What can we do in order to be able to minimize or to reduce the impact of these food shortages? The thing that saddens my heart is the thought that over 1.3 billion tons of food that are produced each year, which is a third of world food production, is actually wasted, whereas more than 820 million people around the globe do not have enough to eat today. And it makes you wonder, where are our priorities? Let's break down a little bit these wastages into the different foods that are wasted. You see that about 40 or 41 tons of food, 41,000 tons of food are wasted, and most of them are wasted. For example, the prepared food, the impulse buying, produce that is just destroyed during the time when they're producing it, etc., and all contributes to food waste. In the UK, the biggest fraction of food waste actually comes from households. It comes from people like you and me, where we buy food, or maybe for some reason we leave it and it goes out of date. And once it's out of date, we're not able to eat it again, and this food heads up into the bins. Most of the food that we're wasting is in our home states. That's the reason why in this video, it's a call to action for you and I to think of ways in which we can minimize food waste. Number one, buy what you need. If you don't need that offer, don't buy it. 2, cook what you need. If you cook too much, don't worry about putting it in the outlet, wasting it, but instead decide and choose to kind of freeze it down. If you don't have freezer spaces, try to cook food that you can eat within the day and finish it off. But if you have got leftovers, be creative on how to use those leftovers to repurpose them as new ingredients or as part of new meals that you can eat together with your family. Last but not least, share what you don't need. We teach our children, we say to them, sharing is caring, but we can also practice this ourselves by sharing with neighbors, with friends, etc. You can give some, donate some food to food banks, food pantries, so that those who do not have can have some food on their table, and at least we will be contributing to reduction of food waste.